What is going on, everybody? It is episode 899 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett, and I am here with my returning co-host. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, Crisis actors. It's Mary. I am indeed back. And we also have an unexpected guest joining us near the studio, not in the studio. Yeah. We have a creature.
So people don't know. I guess you wouldn't know. Actually, let me check from the PTZ camera. Yeah, you can't tell from the PTZ camera either. But there's like a chimney behind me because, like I said, we're in a broom closet. And I came into work today.
Well, technically a living room. That's why there is a hearth in here.
Yes, there is a hearth in here. It's not the backdrop here. I have, I have like a board with the logo behind me. But there is a creature of some sort, be it bird or bat, and it's intermittently making pleas for help. Yeah.
It's like chirping or screeching or something.
And so, there's obviously it's not a used chimney. Nobody uses it because this is now an office and not a and not a living room for people to commiserate around.
We can't smoke it out, is what we're saying.
So, you might hear it in the background. So what I did some sound.
So.
I did some sound tests earlier. It was not being picked up on any of these microphones. But the thing is we were doing that from a scene of complete silence, which means that the mic's threshold wasn't open, which means because it takes more to get it to open. But it's possible that while one of us is talking, it might show up.
Incredible. Well, I guess you guys should just let us know if you can hear it.
Yeah.
Not that we can do anything to stop it, but
how do they expect us to work
for now,
under these conditions?
The plan is either Raymond is going to go in there in some kind of hazmat suit and start like fist fighting it, or we're just gonna wait for it to die.
Well, and the thing is, I pulled the backdrop back earlier, put on some gloves, and was ready to just like grab it and move it. But it's in the midst. It's like in the middle of the chimney. It's not at the ground level.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I was like doing my job here. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah. That's totally in the job description of a podcaster.
Yeah, well, multitasking. They'll tell you multitasking
You're
is bad.
ready to throw down with the bat with rabies. I don't think it's a bat. No. But
we'll have to wait and see. We'll know once this happens. But guys, given all of that, hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. Please and thank you. You should do that to say thank you to Mary for coming back. I did guilt everyone into getting us 2 crisis parties a day. Each day you were gone, I said, she's not coming back if you don't get us 2 crisis parties, and I know you guys don't want to be stuck with me.
Well, then thank you guys for bringing me back, because otherwise the curse would not have lifted. I am now post-birthday. I was celebrating my birthday while I was out of town, and it was a lot of fun.
How you feeling?
I feel good.
Feel good?
I joked saying that I'm on the wrong side of 25.
Is that a song? It feels like that's the name of a song.
Is it? Probably.
Doesn't it sound like the name of a song?
Not that I know of, but I actually feel good about it. I had a good birthday, and I'm refreshed and ready to go. And,
if I want to guilt them again, you're not going to have her come back and not get 2 crisis parties when she's back, are you?
By the way, I was in the airport yesterday, and I just felt like sharing this because, the guy's not going to see it. I don't think he's going to see it. That someone asked me for a selfie for the first time. I've always I got used to people saying like, hey, I know you from whatever thing it is, like whether it's Timcast or this show or whatever it may be. And that was the first time someone asked me for a selfie in the airport. And I, it's not that I was like, oh, I look like a bum right now. Like I looked pretty good, but I was like, no. Sorry, I just don't really want to. Like I was nice about it, and
he was at least polite.
And he was nice about it. Everyone was being polite, but yeah, I'm sure that, it can't feel great to get rejected for the selfie.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of putting yourself out there either way.
It's kind of like on brand for me though to like not take the selfie. So I was like, okay, he probably got like what he wanted out of that interaction.
It would be worse if it was somebody else that was more, Not pleasant's not the right word. You're pleasant, but like, you know, it's not the word I'm
Someone
thinking
who's
of.
less mean.
Like, well, you know, like you don't take the crap when they super chat something rude. You talk shit right back. So
Speaking of
it's
which,
on brand.
we have a $20 super chat from Shane H. Wilder. Happy Monday, Brett and Mary. This weekend, I discovered a German game show called Extrem Shoppen.
Yeah, I
with
saw this.
An event called Einkaufswagen Parken. The object of the game is to roll a shopping cart into the corral. Mary would never.
I actually wrote a tweet that said at Mary Archived would never, and it did that thing where it didn't send.
Oh, damn.
And then it went to my drafts, and by the time I realized it, I was like, oh, the moment just passed.
Yeah, you can't recapture the magic.
Thank you for that 20, Shane.
That's what they call a shopping cart, an Einkaufswagen.
There you go.
You were interacting with some Germans over the weekend, it sounded like.
Yes. So we were at, Olivia was doing a craft market, and they had a craft market at Augusttoberfest.
That's such a weird, like, I've never heard
They
of
didn't want to do it in October, so they did it in August.
We have another 20 from Pat the Plumber. Brett, don't go grabbing raccoons, buddy. I'm glad that Hollywood plant is off of my favorite show. Happy birthday, Mary. What Hollywood plant?
Are you talking about Pedro
Bella
Pascal
Ramsey?
or Bella Ramsey?
Pedro
I have no
Pascal.
idea.
I can't tell.
Well, anyways, guys,
Tate?
again, Tate, hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. As I said, what are we getting into today? Well, that is Bella Ramsey, who has come out and said that I'm going to use her language.
Oh, really?
Roll your eyes. They would like to play Spider-Man.
Spider-them.
Spider-them.
Spider-Mixon.
Yeah. They,
Like X-Mixon?
She said that she'd like never seen Marvel movies and like just started watching the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies.
None
and that's
of
where,
them.
yeah.
I mean, that's not surprising given her age, right?
She's like the opposite of Aman Vellani, who watches all the movies and loves them all.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel similarly to Bella Ramsey on that
In a world of Bella Ramsey's, be an Aman Vellani, I tell you. So we're gonna talk about it because look, there is a lot of news coming out in the last week. We talked about it on the show a bunch about how they're releasing just oodles upon oodles of Spider-Man Brand New Day set images to distract you from Fantastic Flop, which is going on right now because the movie's not making the money that it was supposed to. So they're like, release the Spider-Man images.
Wait, so that's not Sony?
What do you mean? I mean, it's still
Brand New Day?
I mean, it is Sony, but it's
It
a
is
Marvel
Sony?
Cinematic Universe movie.
Oh.
It's made in conjunction with Sony.
But
because
Marvel Studios doesn't, in my best guess, it would be that Marvel Studios doesn't have any creative control over how they market Brand New Day.
I don't even remember. There's a whole
Right.
complicated legal backstory to Marvel's right to using the character. I don't have it all in front of me right now, but the point is it's a Sony movie first, but it is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
The point being, because it's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they want to distract you from Fantastic Flop because it's not doing well at the box office, so they started releasing endless images from Brand New Day, which is rare because you never see like set leaks from these things. Like they were actually filming on an actual street somewhere, which is already insane that it wasn't in a huge soundstage. I know. So we're going to get into the Bella Ramsey stuff. We're going to talk about Gal Gadot, who believes that the reason that Snow White failed was anti-Semitism and Hollywood's push to denounce Israel. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah, what was that one Variety journalist who was really going hard on Rachel Zegler up before
Tara
the release?
Siegel or something?
Tatiana Siegel.
I was close.
Had a personal beef with Rachel Zegler upcoming the release of Snow White solely about her Palestine posts. And we were like, you're denying reality. She made political statements way before this, and even before her political statements, she was shitting on Snow White.
Which is the real reason everybody was mad.
That.
Yeah.
And you're not addressing the rest of the PR shitstorm that she caused because, of course, like the brass in Hollywood is mainly comprised of Zionists, whereas the talent, especially of the small timers, they're not Zionists. They're more on the pro-Palestine bent. Like, right, yeah. Like Rachel Zegler. So
we'll talk about it.
I don't know. It bothers me. Like, can we just be honest? Can we just be real?
We're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about Travis Kelce and his faux masculinity psyop. It's a bazillion-dollar psyop run by Hollywood trying to prevent you from finding any form of true masculinity by pretending that pictures of him imitating Razor Ramon in the water with his stupid vest on is some type of masculine...
It's giving Jeremy Dufresne meets Brokeback Mountain. Travis Kelce was featured on the cover of GQ, and everyone's talking about it. I think that he's just doing PR promotion for Taylor Swift's new album, covertly. But I have some words for him.
On top of that, we've got Wednesday and queer baiting, accusations of queer baiting.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that Tim Burton was like homophobic, allegedly.
That's what some people were saying on X.
Is he really?
I doubt it.
I'm going to have to look up his record on that because I thought he was accused of racism.
That's what it was.
Is he just old?
He's just old.
Okay.
He's just old.
Okay, got it.
Okay. All right, you ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so Marvel right now is struggling just a little bit. Fantastic Four is a fantastic flop, and they have been releasing endless images of Spider-Man Brand New Day to distract you from that, but I think that they have the opportunity to really, really fix things over at Marvel. They just have to listen to Bella Ramsey.
Right. Bella Ramsey was actually getting interviewed by our very favorite variety journalist, the one that we know for saying, what would it like to see your Thor ass on screen for the first time? And he was, of course, fishing for an answer just like the one that Bella Ramsey gave him. She wants to play the next Spider-Man, and she did praise Andrew Garfield's version as incredible, but she thinks that she could upstage him. Let's hear her answer on the red carpet. By the way, this is not at the Emmys. This is at HBO's Emmy nominees event because they just love throwing parties.
Well, I mean, it makes sense
blowing their money
because I mean they have to actually try, like, you don't just end up with an Emmy. You have to actually petition to get it, and it's a whole thing.
Go
it's
to the luncheons and everything.
Imagine being these people. Here we go.
Or I could be Spider-Man.
Okay, make that pitch right now to Tom Holland. You're out, you're in.
Tom Holland did a great job, though. so I don't know. Maybe they do need to make a new one for me.
I could see it. Come on, slinging those webs.
This is so awkward.
Yeah, something like that.
Is that your favorite superhero?
You know what? Spider-Man was the one with Andrew Garfield. Are there several with him? One of them with him was the first time I'd ever watched a Marvel film, and that was like 3 months ago was the first time that I'd ever seen a Marvel film, and it was Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
And?
Incredible. I loved it. Or I could be...
Okay, so the thing is I understand why actors end up hooked on drugs so that you can get through these interviews without like, imagine like going to these interviews and you forget your Adderall and Xanax combo, and then you have to listen to this and be like,
specifically this guy. You specifically don't want to interact with this guy sober. Good on her, at least, for not lying about being a Marvel super fan.
oh yeah, I know, right? She's like, yeah, I never really thought about it. I don't really care.
Yeah, most of the comments were not objecting to the idea of a Bella Ramsey superhero or Spider-Them. They were mad at Variety for using the preferred they-them pronouns for Bella Ramsey.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen. Another idea that she pitched was a heist movie with Pedro Pascal where they're robbing a bank together.
So like Heat. That sucks. No.
So both of those ideas...
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be too mean here, but this is the least intimidating bank robber I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, you would just headbutt her.
She could be like Pedro Pascal's hostage for ransom.
Okay. Or no,
think,
she plays like the inside man who, like, they take her hostage, but she's actually working with them.
Oh.
That
sort
could
of
work.
Maybe the way that Joey King played it in Bullet Train.
Yes, yeah. See,
except Joey King is cute.
Brad Pitt is now 2 for 2 out of the last few movies I've seen from him, given that Bullet Train was good and F1 was good. Here's the thing, though. I pitched that she should play Miles Morales.
Do you have your grok image?
Oh,
You
I don't have it.
generated a Bella Ramsey
Well,
spider
it's gonna be-
them with Grok, and it was actually really good.
It's in the thumbnail, so they can kind of see it in the thumbnail. But I think Bella Ramsey should play live because they haven't done live action Miles Morales yet. They've only done the Into the Spider-Verse movies. So we get Bella Ramsey, and then I said that The Rock should play Doc Ock, so he'd be Dwayne the Ock Johnson, and then Pedro Pascal can play Gwen Stacy. I mean, that's an age gap relationship, but they can do that.
I still think that a black character takes precedence over a non-binary actor in the totem pole.
Yeah, well, I mean,
so I don't think they would allow that.
The
to
Rock
happen.
doesn't count as that though, because he's Pacific Islander. So,
But for Bella Ramsey,
yes, for Bella
Miles
Ramsey,
Morales.
I'm on board for this, and I feel bad for them. I genuinely do feel bad for them when they have to go to these red carpets and answer these inane questions. Like, I imagine when you're a celebrity, like the first few times it's kind of fun, it strokes your ego, it's kind of interesting. After that, you're just like, oh,
Dissociating the entire time.
this is the worst thing that's ever happened in the world.
Right.
Like, she's like, oh wow, the one Marvel movie I watched. Now she has to make bullshit small talk about the one Marvel movie that she
That's why
watched.
I said that award shows and all of these events are sort of becoming the office Christmas party for actors and musicians. Like, I don't think that they really... They're not, like, enthused about it.
They'd rather go on like Instagram Live.
Yeah.
Yeah. And reach way more people.
And I bet Bella Ramsey is tired of getting asked questions about Pedro Pascal and how much of a daddy he is. That was another question that she was asked in the red carpet interview. She said that she is most frequently asked about Pedro Pascal. It's, how is Pedro Pascal? Is he as nice as he seems? That's mostly what people ask me, and the answer is yes. He's here, and I have not seen him in so long. I'm looking around trying to find him. Most of our texts consist of, where in the world are you? I'm here. Are you there? We just missed each other. Talk also turned to superheroes because of Fantastic Four. Do you think that they are acting like these leaks are on accident, or is it like a purposeful campaign from the studio?
This is a purposeful campaign from the studio. I can almost guarantee it. First of all, I mean, it's kind of endearing to begin with, because they've got like shots like this with like a kid in a Spider-Man outfit looking at Spider-Man on the tank. And there's just way too many leaks all at once, whereas most of the time, look, he's aura farming in like 10 different photos. You're telling me that this just happened to come out? If they wanted a closed set, they could have a closed set.
Right.
Right? It's not like they don't have the personnel to be like, give me your phone. These aren't even like cell phone shots. These are taken from like DSLRs or mirrorless cameras. This is because Fantastic Four is flopping, and they know that Spider-Man, in the last 2 days, but at the event that we were at yesterday, I saw 3 kids in Spider-Man shirts. Okay. He's
in
the
person.
most in person.
Oh, wow.
He is the most, and they were like, you know, kids there with their parents, right? He is the most popular superhero in the world. Fantastic Four is not making the money that they wanted it to make, and the best way you can do that is to pivot and start showing stuff from Spider-Man. And the last thing they want to do now, they need to be like, Bella Ramsey, it's time to shut the fuck up. I mean, this is at Warner Brothers. This isn't even over at Bob. Like, what's gonna happen is like the head of Sony or Kevin Feige is gonna call up David Zaslav and be like, "You need to shut her the hell up. Like, you need to get
shut they up, shut they mouth."
Well, no, it's actually one of those cases where you could actually say "shut them up" and it would work.
Right.
It would be in context. So they need to do that. And until then, what Bella Ramsey needs to do is go back to making The Last of Us.
It is kind of cool that they're not filming in a green screen room.
Yes. Because there was a really funny clickbait. Let me see if I can find the picture that I was looking at the other day. But there was a very funny clickbait. It wasn't even clickbait. The guy actually had his own reasons for what he was saying. But there was a dude who wrote an article about how he was of the opinion that next year Supergirl could beat Spider-Man at the box office. And I said, there is exactly 0 chance of that happening. Because imagine seeing this image and thinking that you're going to beat Spider-Man.
No.
It's Spider-Man aura farming on a tank. You can't beat that. And if that's Bella Ramsey, it stops working.
I just sent you the Grok image. Can you pull that up for we can feast our eyes on what could be.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me see if it'll let me, because it's asking me to go to log into Slack on here.
Oh, gross.
It's not going to work like that. Sorry. Can't do that on here. But it's great. Yeah, I mean, you'll see it in the thumbnail, guys. It's really funny. Yeah, it won't do it. It's making me log in. I can't do that right now. But it's a hilarious image of Bella Ramsey as Spider-Man, and it could work.
Better than Madam Web.
I mean, that's what they really like. That's what they could really do is they could turn it and they could. Look, I saw people like joking and trolling on my post about this, and we said Peter Dinklage as Miles Morales. I saw somebody else say, what were the other castings that I saw down here? That
would be so disrespectful to dwarf actors.
Bella Ramsey as Peter Parker. A white European should not play the part of an African American. That's what they were saying to me. They said Hunter Schafer as Gwen Stacy, Pedro Pascal as Aunt May, Elliot Page as Harry Osborn, Laverne Cox as Mary Jane, Jussie Smollett as J. Jonah Jameson, Whoopi Goldberg as Wilson Fisk, and Lizzo as Felicia Hardy.
Did you gauge the reaction to Sadie Sink as Gwen Stacy?
No. I mean, those you see those types of faux announcements.
No, it was confirmed. That was a rumor at first, but they did confirm it.
I mean, I feel like Sadie Sink is more relevant to your generation, and Spider-Man as a movie is more interested by millennials. Am I wrong about that?
Kids freaking love Spider-Man.
They do, but right now, I mean, but they don't care about the casting announcements and stuff like that. They just want to go see Spider-Man look cool on screen.
I like the idea of more ginger representation.
That would be good.
In media.
That would be very good. We could do with some of that.
Everyone was mad that it wasn't Zendaya's, is what I was seeing.
Well, they can't do this now because Zendaya's already in the movies. I was trying to think of a way to work Zendaya into my joke about Miles Morales, but it doesn't really work because she's already playing a role in Spider-Man.
I don't want Zendaya wearing the redhead wig.
No? Well, okay, so dark red or the fire red?
No. None of them? We need actual gingers.
And Bella Ramsey, so does she have anything going for her other than The Last of Us? It's not.
Well, that was the Emmy nomination that she received for The Last of Us.
But are there other projects that she's working on? It feels like Hunter Schafer gets more work than Bella Ramsey.
I haven't seen any announcements about Bella Ramsey, actually. Yeah. Aside from The Last of Us.
She's nominated for the second time in as many years for The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Caitlin Dever was at the red carpet saying that people were saying very mean stuff to her about the death of Joel.
They're mad at her character for killing Joel.
Well, I mean, people do take it too far.
Be mad at Neil Druckmann for that. That was their decision.
All right, let's move on.
Last week, there was a clip went super viral from a Mormon dating show called The Altar. And you guys discussed it on the show last week when I wasn't here. I was out of town. I just have a lot of thoughts on it. The reason why it went viral is because it was deceptively edited. This girl went up to introduce herself to the guys on the panel, and she said, I'm scuba dive certified. I love going on adventures. She just seemed super wholesome Chungus-ified. And everyone was dragging her. The other half of the internet was saying she deserved better than to be laughed at by the guys on the panel. Super pitiful performance from everyone involved. But I think we should show the deceptively edited clip before we get into it.
Yes, here we go, guys. Here's the one. Again, we watched this on Friday, but this is the one we watched. But here we go.
Okay, I'm Riley. I'm 24. I'm from Houston, Texas. And honestly, I'm down for any good adventure. I just got scuba dive certified, and I'm planning to go to Australia this summer, so I'm super excited about that. And then I just picked up skiing 2 years ago, and I honestly love any themed party. Those are my favorite things to go to, my favorite things to plan. And I'm looking for someone that wants to be my adventure buddy, and it's someone that I can trust in and is going to be there for me.
Aww.
If any gentleman would like to get to know Riley more, please step forward.
They're all
They all look like Benson Boone.
Yeah, they do. They all look the same.
Benson Boone.
So they're laughing at her.
That
Nobody's interested.
looks like Averman from the Mighty Ducks. The millennials know what I'm talking about.
The guys who are just not reacting in any way are doing it the correct way. Justice for Riley.
Thank you for introducing yourself.
Okay. So she didn't get any takers, and this prompted a huge debate about what it is that made her so unattractive to the panel.
It became a huge conversation for a week.
It was insane. People were philosophizing about what it means for a woman to be into travel, and is she like whoring her way across Europe? Like, it was insane.
I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Even before you know that it's a Mormon dating show, just judging by what she's wearing tells me that she's not whoring her way through Europe.
Okay, and if you're listening rather than watching, you don't know, she's wearing these ginormous barrel leg jeans and a crochet vest with flowers on it. She's hunched over like a grandma. Her posture is terrible. She just looks like she didn't put a lot of effort into her appearance. But the funny thing is, because it was deceptively edited, most people didn't know there was a curtain between her and the guys.
Yep.
So they didn't even have a clue what she looked like. They only heard her voice.
And this was the basically the center of my thesis last week, which is that it doesn't matter. Like, just pick your generation. The media's evil either way, whether it was Howard Stern with the Butterface contest or this being deceptively edited to humiliate her and make some faux intellectual statement about dating in the current age. It's all to make people angry, and it's all because evil is the goal, at least in my opinion.
It's insane how cutting out the curtain between the guys and girls changes the context of this clip and has started a gender war based on lies. But what is your take on why they were so put off by her just based on her voice and what she said?
Look, I don't know what it, like, if these guys, so the original push right here is that because they're members of the Mormon church, that they're looking to settle down and start families. It's just in my brain finds it incongruous with how they dress. Like, I'm like these don't look like the men that are settling down to start families. But of course that's just, surface level interpretation. But, is the idea supposed to be that she didn't talk about the types of things that actually matter when you want to settle down and start a family, which is like personal values, where you see yourself wanting to be in the next 5 to 10 years, what your goals are in the relationship. More, it was like a pitch for let's go do these types of adventures. She was unbelievably wholesome sounding and sounded very excited about all of it. I laughed because, any TV show you watch, a character that gets scuba certified is absolutely shown to be doing too much. Like, they're like unless it's part of their job, scuba certified is something that a character lists off when they're like, I have all these credentials. These are all the things that I'm good at. So I felt bad for her, but the edited clip makes it less so because it's not actually as serious as they make it out to be. But the edited version did her a huge disservice.
Well, I still think that the guys on the panel were wrong to react the way they did because, of course, they knew they were being recorded and that she was going to see that one way or another after the video came out. So that was cruel from the guys who did laugh at her. And what I would imagine is most Zoomettes would be loath to introduce themselves based on their values or goals in life.
I mean, I feel like
that would
have been true of most generations when they're that age.
Exactly, but most Gen Z women would avoid talking about their long-term goals for a romantic relationship because they would assume that comes on too strong, that guys would be scared off by that, which at that age is by and large true. Maybe not among the Provo's most eligible group.
From the thirstiest town in America.
It says in the YouTube bio, they're helping people find love in the thirstiest town in America.
This is what I mean when I say that the media was always evil, right? When Howard Stern did it, it was purely for spectacle, right? It was shock and awe. This is like, we're going to be evil, but we're going to couch it in the language of some lame sociological experiment or social commentary on what dating means in the year 2025. It's still about humiliation.
Well, they say Provo's Most Eligible began its journey in 2019, creating hilarious and heartfelt dating opportunities for the singles of Provo, Utah. Drawn by curiosity about Mormon culture, fans wait eagerly for 3 years for the series to return. Now the creators are back with a bold new spin-off, The Altar, a show that leans into and pokes fun at the stereotypes of Provo dating culture in fresh and unexpected ways. So I do understand the draw. Like, it's such an alien thing to most people.
Yes.
Because like
the pitch makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's like Love is Blind with a new like social media twist. They're like 20 Mormons blind date, Mormons meet at the altar, Mormons play Truth or Dare.
The videos of like students from BYU being interviewed always go viral because it's such like you said, it's alien to the rest of us.
And the viral Instagram page, like Brigham Young Virginity Club, which nobody ever knew was a satire account. Here's the thing though. I don't think most people would be willing to say this, but that girl Riley really needs to hear it from someone who cares.
That's you?
That yes, that she has room for improvement.
Okay.
A lot of people were just saying, like, she's such a wholesome chungus. Like, she was way too cool for them. She deserves better. Any guy would jump at the chance to date someone like Riley. That's not true. And, you know, it's not even that she likes skiing or likes scuba diving or traveling or any of that stuff. It's really the way that she presents herself in both the way that she talks and the way that she dresses. And regardless of the fact that the guys couldn't see her, that remains true. Yeah. I think that she comes off like a little kid, and that's not attractive. Yeah. You don't want to date the type of guy who is attracted to a grown woman that presents herself in this childlike way. If someone who really cared about her gave her some honest, tough love dating advice, they would tell her, you need to fix your posture. Stop standing like that. Stop craning your neck like that.
I mean, even though they can't see her.
Yeah, like regardless.
General,
I mean, even that still affects the way that you carry yourself and the way that you speak about yourself. Fix your posture. Stop dressing like a little kid. Dress like a grown adult woman. Like, wear a dress, put on some makeup, put some effort into the way you do your hair. And also, perhaps this is chauvinistic of me, but I have been thinking about this for a minute now. Women really need to stop doing whatever they're doing with their voices.
What do you mean?
I have noticed this not just in social media content, but my interactions with women generally. They're changing their voices.
You mean like changing how they actually speak?
Yes.
Like to women as opposed to men?
I have noticed that women are like, they're first of all talking way too loud. They're almost yelling. They need to stop yelling. Okay. And they need to stop raising the pitch of their voice in this way that's like really off-putting. Hi, I'm Riley. I'm 24 and I like scuba diving. Like, it's very grating to the ears. Okay. For everyone. And I've just noticed that like a lot of women are doing this. Maybe they think that it comes off as like less threatening or something to put on a higher pitched voice, but I find it very disturbing. Talk with your normal voice and just act like a grown adult woman with some dignity. Okay. Like, carry yourself. You know, like what makes you think that you're above that? It's kind of like a guy.
I mean, I don't think she's ever entertained that question in her life.
She should. Well, she should. A lot of guys kind of act like they're above that too. Like, oh, why would I need to, dress up? I'm just being myself. No. Like, sometimes, most of the time actually, being yourself doesn't matter. We have a 20 from Adam Bowers. Having grown up Mormon, now Eastern Orthodox, this is how it normally goes from a man's perspective. The women either think holding hands is fornication or they're throwing themselves at every guy with broccoli for hair. Yeah, I do have a little bit of an insight into Christian dating culture in general, not Mormons, but Christian dating culture and Catholic dating culture more specifically. And they have a whole unique set of problems that most of the secular dating world can't relate to. In my opinion, the Christian women, the Catholic women that I've encountered have a similar problem to what Riley is experiencing. In a way, it's like they come off as frigid and they come off as boyish and childish. And you know, they're just not able to flirt. And they think that there's no way to do that without seeming slutty, which is ridiculous.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that they're so? I mean, I understand why you would be worried about being perceived that way. Is that just because in the social media age, they're worried that they're going to be perceived a specific way if they act that way to find and to meet someone? They
have a weird misconception that soliciting male attention in a very normal way is somehow not traditional, and they're way too concerned with seeming traditional and not actually behaving that way. Okay. So it's like they've lost the concept of dropping the handkerchief, you know, giving an in. Because guys, especially these days,
well, that's what they do now. They're
young guys,
the men are dropping the handkerchief by getting their salad stolen.
Right, exactly. Well, these days, I think Gen Z guys, especially, really need to feel invited to express interest in women more than they have in previous generations, which I understand is a headache from the female perspective. But be realistic. You have to be inviting. You don't have to act like a cartoon character. Just be pleasant. Stop yelling and stop dressing like a little boy, you know?
Yeah, I think more than anything, she should have, like, I guess I just don't know how, she expected the interests to be enough that somebody was going to be like, I like all those things, so, you know. That's what it felt like to me.
She
like
presented...
She was hoping to pull somebody based on, like, having similar interests.
Yeah, which is not the basis for a relationship. The basis for a relationship ought to be shared values and general chemistry, not having the same hobbies. She basically presented the least important information about herself, which she didn't know better than to do.
That's what I meant at the beginning, was like, it just seems like that's the type of stuff that would come later. Once you have the discussion, it's not at least maybe in like the real world, this stuff would come up first as like the type of pleasantries you talk about to one another before you get into the deeper stuff about like what you're hoping for in the future. But something like this seems like the whole point is to put that stuff on the table, because that's the reason everybody's been brought together in this one room, is to talk about these things specifically.
Yeah, she definitely didn't deserve to get dragged the way that she did at all.
No.
And it's basically a humiliation ritual, as you said. But I think that, like, women in Christian dating or maybe Mormon dating, like, that whole sphere, have a totally different set of personality flaws than the women in the secular dating world have.
Yeah.
And that needs to be addressed. Like, they are way too concerned with putting on the airs of traditionalism instead of just being human beings and like relating to one another.
I feel like that's hard to do nowadays because everybody's worried they're going to be judged for their behavior online. So you have to put up a front of some sort.
Well, especially if you're on a show like this.
Or if you have traditional values that people want to judge and give you some type of purity test on. I mean, that's what I've noticed about like the worst parts about X is like you could take something that you really, really love. Thank you. Like your religion, and then it just becomes a spiral of arguing.
Right.
Hold, please. Very excited. Okay.
And you know what? I'll add another thing. Women are really weird about date ideas these days.
What do you mean?
They think that a guy needs to come up with some elaborate, like, bullshit, like, activity for them. That's what a lot of the men were complaining about this clip. That she's, like, obsessed with the idea of, like, doing the activities or whatever. Like, can you just go into a setting where it's easy to have a conversation? That's the point of going on a date, right? It's like learning about each other, having a conversation, not, you know, doing the same thing at the same time. That's what kids do on play dates that their parents arrange for them. They do coloring pages and they play tag and hide and seek.
Maybe they could do like, okay, we're going to play 20 questions while doing an escape room.
It's the escape rooms, it's the pottery classes, it's the skiing, it's the scuba diving, it's all the things. It's the equivalent of going on a first date to a movie and not going to dinner afterwards. Yeah. So it's really ridiculous, the types of date ideas that women think they want to go on. They probably don't know what they want, but like women, I just think like guys shouldn't listen to women when they're talking about like the date ideas that they think are like a great like way to get to know someone, because they just come up with the stupidest shit. People in general just need to grow the F up. The guys in that room need to grow up and stop acting like middle schoolers, and so does Riley. Okay. Like everyone in that room probably humiliated themselves equally, and she just got the brunt of the backlash, in my estimation.
All right, let's move on then. We got more to get into.
Okay. So last week, Lana Del Rey posted a snippet of a song that's on her upcoming album, which is a pointed dig at a smaller artist who goes by the stage name Ethel Cain. And if you're unaware of Ethel Cain, we have talked about him a couple of occasions on the show. Ethel Cain is an alternative pop singer who is actually biologically male and identifies as female. This is a transgender artist. And Ethel Cain's entire persona and brand and public image and artistic world is basically about like dark Americana, like the most played out thing ever. Like it sort of draws upon aesthetics of like the Southern Baptist Church,
True Detective season 1,
the Dust Bowl, trophy hunting, and like the Amish and the Manson family, like all wrapped up into one. And that's Ethel Cain's entire artistic cinematic universe that he draws upon. Actually, this person's real name is Hayden Horner, and he legally changed it to Hayden Silas Anhedonia. Like that's his government name, and his stage name is Ethel Cain.
Is anhedonia the one that
the inability to experience pleasure?
Yeah.
So yeah, now Hayden's legal name is Hayden Silas Anhedonia. That's who we're dealing with here. And Lana Del Rey.
Try hard.
Yeah, Lana Del Rey is obviously the blueprint for a lot of these up and coming artists, including Ethel Cain. And some of them are willing to give her the flowers she deserves for being such an inspiration. But others, like Ethel Cain, instead have taken to being envious and going on tirades against Lana for being the big fish. So Lana hit back, and this is the lyrical snippet that she shared with the public, which was targeted at Ethel Cain. You have to play the...
Think it's cute reenacted my Chicago bars. Hard to roll in slow motion. Hard to say no to concussion. Hard to stop and it's like an ocean. Not afraid to say when I'm going down in flames. The most famous girl at the Waffle House.
The most famous girl at the Waffle House.
Okay.
So it started with Ethel Cain hated my Instagram post, and the other part, the most famous girl at the Waffle House, is directed at Ethel Cain. So I just want to provide some context, because Ethel Cain's obsession with Lana Del Rey goes back a long, long time, long before Ethel Cain was famous himself. It says, in 2015, Ethel Cain listed Lana Del Rey as a favorite artist on an old DeviantArt page. We're talking about somebody who had DeviantArt, a DeviantArt account. So that's already a red flag. And I won't even go into many details about this, but if you dig further into the story, you'll find that Ethel Cain also has illustrated some very disturbing images of children, and has drawn upon basically child abuse in an artistic way that some people are defending because, oh, you know,
Art.
she was a closeted trans woman expressing her, you know, suppressed emotions through art, right? I don't think that that really excuses romanticizing or eroticizing the abuse of children, but that's for your own, if you want to look into it further. We're not going to go into detail about that. In 2017, Ethel Cain uploaded a cover of Born to Die that she later tried to scrub from the internet. Also this year, posted another cover of Mariner's Apartment Complex by Lana. In 2018, Ethel Cain made a post on Curious Cat referencing Lana and later apologized for controversial posts on the platform. And it was about, the question said, is there a reason you hate black people or were you born racist? To which Ethel Cain said, I love that Lana album. By 2020, Ethel Cain seemingly switched on Lana and began a tirade of shady posts and comments against her, mostly when compared to her and her music. And this says, a forum thread was titled, Ethel Cain, if you compare me to Lana Del Rey, I'm literally not reading your shit. I'm getting compared to that lady till the day I die, aren't I? One writer likened Ethel Cain to Lana Del Rey. Two white girls exploring the underbelly of Americana. Hayden tweeted about the unfair comparison, saying, I love Lana and I love her music, but there's 100 other things at play here. If there's an entryway for a review, that's fine, but sometimes people arrive at Lana Del Rey and stop at Lana Del Rey. I called it lazy writing because it's lazy for me and her. It's a detriment to the expansive work of two female artists to just reduce them to being similar to each other. And there was another comment from Ethel Cain. At first, when I listened to Born to Die, I was like, wow, this is really good American dream. It's so glamorous, old Hollywood. I loved it. But as I got older, especially with the social justice movement and the unraveling of the American dream, the unraveling of Hollywood and celebrity culture, it was kind of like all a sham. All that glamour and opulence is built on the backs of hardworking people who will never get the recognition, and it's just a facade that you start to see through. That, coupled with the stuff I saw growing up, it's just not all sunshine and rainbows and diamonds and roses and whatnot. It's like effed up. It's ugly. And I was like, I don't want to portray that. I don't want to portray some kind of glamorous, beautiful persona. I want something that's raw and freaky and scary, because to me, that's what America is. So, in Ethel Cain's estimation, Lana Del Rey was glamorizing Americana and making America seem like it's this idyllic place. And Ethel Cain came in and shattered that perception that people had.
See that picture of Chappell Roan without her makeup recently?
With Troye Sivan
she's like the
from
most
years ago.
She's like the most normal looking person you've ever seen in your entire life.
Well, you can't get famous if you look normal.
That's exactly right.
It's the trade-off you have to make.
Yeah.
There was also a post from Ethel Cain's Twitter back in the day saying, in response to Lana Del Rey walked so Ethel Cain could run, he said, I pushed her over when I ran past. And then she'll never catch up to me in her Macy's dress. And then in 2022, Lana posted a photo with then boyfriend Jack Donahue, and Ethel Cain responded with a shady and then deleted post, which Lana has referenced in the snippet of her song. She posted, it said, a picture with the same guy. And then in 2022, Ethel Cain vandalized her own Wikipedia page on numerous occasions, specifically removing mentions of Lana Del Rey. She was called out by her fans and the account stopped being active in 2023. Lana was made aware of this through her then boyfriend Jack Donahue, who was friends with Ethel Cain. She reacted to this information by recording a diss track that we all know as All About Ethel.
Diss
Lana
tracks.
said, I didn't know who Ethel was until a few years ago when someone brought to my attention the disturbing and graphic side-by-side images she would often put up of me next to unflattering creatures and cartoon characters, making constant comments about my weight. I was confused at what she was getting at. Then when I heard that she was saying behind closed doors and started inserting herself into my personal life, I was definitely disturbed. And then the reference to Waffle House was because Lana worked a shift at a Waffle House in 2023, and Ethel Cain was featured in an interview that same year at a Waffle House, and it was titled "The Most Famous Girl at the Waffle House." Mm-hmm. The singer-songwriter Ethel Cain has an elaborate vision of becoming a different kind of pop star. She's doing it from rural Alabama. So that's the headline that Lana was mentioning in that song. And now she has blocked Ethel Cain on Instagram.
Bring it all to a close.
Here's the thing. People are taking sides. It's ironic because these two artists share a lot of the same fans, and you kind of, in stan culture, have to pledge your loyalty to one or the other.
Yeah, it becomes a team sport for a lot of them. It's weird.
Instead of just streaming the music because you like the music, you have to be allegiant to the person that made the music.
Yeah. As if it somehow says something, I guess, about your own music
Right.
tastes, that the one that you supported ended up being more successful, which is, of course, a weird level of parasocial connection that should be studied one day.
But it's funny because Ethel Cain is one of the stans.
Yeah.
Ethel Cain is like Chappell Roan in a lot of ways. Just an anonymous stan on the internet who accidentally became famous.
Yeah.
And then all of this shady stuff from his digital footprint has resurfaced over the years, and it's not pretty. And judging by the aesthetic that Ethel Cain is going for with his music and his persona, you can see that there's clearly a lot of inspiration from Lana Del Rey. It's just a shitty version of everything that Lana did. And the truth of the matter is that Ethel Cain clearly has an obsession with Lana, and he is an autogynephile. That means a transgender identifying male who finds eroticism in portraying himself as a woman. He essentially wants to skinwalk Lana Del Rey and is deeply envious and catty toward Lana for being an actual woman and for being an actually original artist with good artistic output compared to his. So it's all just a gay man with a catty obsession with this way more successful female artist, and they've been lashing out at her for years at this point, and it's all catching up now. The funniest part of this is that Nicki Minaj caught on to the controversy way later than everyone else, and she hadn't listened to Lana Del Rey's music ever before this, and just started absolutely spiraling over it. She started a space on X to talk about it with her fans, and I wanted to show this snippet from that space that she did.
And I am listening to every single song because y'all, I'm not kidding, what it did to me when I woke up
I
today.
see Buffy's in there.
Yeah.
The fake Buffy account. I love that account. It's hilarious.
Just hearing that thing in my head, it made me feel so like it's a period piece. You know, it puts me back in a different time. Hello? Judge Shine Blend, do you know anyone named Ethel?
No, Nika, you know I don't know nobody named Ethel.
Yeah, okay. Well, we want to try to figure out who she is. She went to the Waffle House. I am going into Lana's
Nicki is.
I mean, I'm just happy that Nicki Minaj does spaces on X.
Yeah, she's engaging with the fans for sure.
Look, this is the definition of a first world problem. And when people talk about America falling apart, remember there's people that have time to dissect such beefs.
Right. Well,
Right?
that's the whole point of stan Twitter
Exactly.
culture.
They love it.
And Nicki Minaj is clearly like not in her right mind at the moment.
That's
like
okay.
just from listening to the way that she was talking on the space, she's like on another planet.
Reminded me of Doja Cat when she did the Sydney Sweeney jeans thing when she was doing the
Someone just needs to tell Ethel Cain, you're never gonna be Lana Del Rey. We can see your Adam's apple from space, and you're just not. Like, you're not that guy, pal. Like, stay away from her. Keep your healthy distance from Lana.
I think just avoid stan culture in general would be a good advice. So
And
that's
also,
just my opinion.
Stop making stans famous.
Yeah.
Forget stop making stupid people famous. Stop making stans famous. They don't deserve it.
All right. What would you like to see? Cringe or cute of the day?
Let's see Cringe first. It's a really good Cringe.
It's a really good one. All
Yeah.
right, here we go.
It's pretty intense.
Here we go.
I heard that Olivia was picking out the Cringe while I was out of town.
Yeah, they suffered because of it. It was not pretty for them. All right, here we go.
You're unethical. You're an unethical piece of shit.
Oh, yeah?
Kills dogs because he has to have his bred dogs.
Me?
Yes. You bought those dogs, didn't you?
No.
You didn't adopt them. You didn't save their lives. You don't care about them. You don't care about anyone but
Dude,
yourself.
you are crazy, lady.
Get away from me then. Get away from me.
You walked up to me.
Go away from me. This guy won't leave me alone. Help me. Help me. This guy won't leave me alone. And he is saying that I said something racist when I absolutely did not.
You did.
Please help me. I did not say anything
Who
to
are you,
this guy.
who are
Please
you
get
talking
away.
It has to be a skit, right?
I don't know.
to?
Help me, please. Please get this guy away from me. Adopt those
Dude,
dogs. Go away.
you need medication, lady.
You need to get away from me.
Go that way.
See the
Go
skit?
that way. You want to attack me?
Go.
If you touch me, I will knock you out. You attack me, I have a right to defend myself.
Okay, let's do this, buddy.
Buddy.
Get away from me now. This guy.
Like the scary thing is like this dude's life could be ruined by this lady.
Right?
Like
if he didn't start recording first.
Is harassing me.
You,
He said that
I have
was
lots of
racist
film,
even though
lady.
I did not say anything racist at all.
Go away
whatsoever.
from me, lady.
Go away from me. Go away. Go away. I'm trying to get by, and this guy won't let me by.
Go by.
I'm trying to get by.
Go by. I have I have everything you said before. I have it all on video, lady.
I have it all on video too.
No, you don't. You need to go away. I let you by.
Go
Go.
away too. You need to adopt, don't shop. Look at this guy. Look at his bred dogs. Look at what an unethical piece of shit this guy
That's
is.
his mom.
He has to have bred dogs because he has a small penis. He has no freaking...
has to be.
Isn't this lady amazing?
No integrity.
You are
He is a
mentally
horrible
ill.
person with
You
no
are mentally
integrity
ill, lady.
And no fucking ethics at all whatsoever.
You are
But he's
mentally ill.
probably a Trump supporter.
You are
Trump supporter
mentally
right
ill.
here. Where's Ice?
You are mentally ill.
Supporter.
Wow.
Where's Ice?
Easy.
Let me call Ice
Yeah.
right now.
I'm done with you. Have fun in your psycho ward. Go take your medication today.
The adopt don't shop people really are like crazy.
That was
Like when you see the adopt don't shop bumper stickers, you know that it's like a woman exactly like that in the driver's seat.
okay. Well, that was the worst thing I've ever seen. Thank you for that.
He's an unethical piece of shit.
Speaking of adopt, don't shop.
Aww.
Cute of the day from New Wave Coffee. I never tweet.
New
but
Wave Coffee.
That's who it's from. I never tweet, but I figured it was about time to send in my sister's dog, Milo. Here he is, behind the bars we refer to as puppy prison. It's different than alligator Alcatraz.
I bet you bought her.
I bet you bought her.
You unethical piece of shit.
bet you that makes
I bet
you a Trump
support
supporter.
Trump. Where's Ice? That's an illegal dog right there. Well, no, the ears are very cute.
It's a very cute
very
puppy.
cute dog.
All right. All right. Now that that's done, let's get started.
So at long last, Gal Gadot has been asked, why did Snow White flop so badly? And instead of, giving some sort of studio-approved, PR, media-trained answer as to why it underperformed, or even instead of throwing her co-star Rachel Zegler under the bus, which she would rightfully deserve, Gal Gadot instead has a theory that anti-Semitism is to blame.
I always suspected.
Yeah, because she's Israeli and a Zionist, and Rachel Zegler is pro-Palestine, outspokenly so. that had something to do with people boycotting Snow White, and that's why it flopped at the box office. This is a comment that she gave on a recent appearance on an Israeli TV program called The A-Talks. This is crazy, a premise for the show in which guests are interviewed by individuals on the autism spectrum. So just no tact whatsoever.
Remember earlier when I said that the media's always been evil?
This is a crazy idea for a talk show, but here's why that happened. They just didn't think of a way to ask her this in a media-trained perspective.
They're not going to be able to, I was going to say.
We have to give the translation.
Yeah, so do you want to just read
Sure.
it? Like, because I was going to say earlier when you sent me this, I'm like, we're going to make him listen to it in Hebrew.
I didn't even
Let's
know
go.
that she spoke Hebrew.
Read the translation.
She said, you know, this happens a lot in various industries, including Hollywood. There is pressure on celebrities to speak out against Israel. And, you know, it happened. I can always explain and try to give context about what's happening here, and I always do that. But in the end, people make their own decisions, and I was disappointed that the movie was incredibly affected by all of that, and that it didn't do well at the box office. But that's how it goes. You win some, you lose some. And she also gave some follow-up comments on her Instagram over the weekend, clarifying that
Before we do that, we need to bring back you win some, you lose some. You don't hear that much these days.
I hear it.
It's a zero-sum game for most people. You know, bring back you win some, you lose some. I appreciate that.
She clarified that Snow White didn't fail solely because of external pressures. She said, I was honored to join an extraordinary interview with the inspiring interviewers whose questions go straight to the heart. Sometimes we respond to questions from an emotional place. When the film came out, I felt that those who are against Israel criticized me in a very personal, almost visceral way. They saw me first and foremost as an Israeli, not as an actress. That's the perspective I spoke from when I answered the question. Of course, the film didn't fail solely because of external pressures. There are many factors that determine why a film succeeds or fails, and success is never guaranteed.
So, I mean, this is just what happens when you're in your own little personal bubble. Not even like a political bubble, but just like she's only taking in the information of what happened to her, not really looking at the whole picture, which is interesting because you'd think that like at a certain point they would maybe she's just so unproblematic to them that they didn't have to have any of these conversations with her. But you'd think with all of the backlash that Rachel Zegler was getting at the time that they would have tried to get everybody together and be like, look, we need to shore up this media tour. We need to go out here and get everybody on the same page. But Gal Gadot was in a very different place than Rachel Zegler when the movie was being promoted, because they were sending Rachel Zegler out to like sing at castles and basically do anything but talk.
Right.
And Gal Gadot was allowed to just do her own thing. She got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She was getting awards for combating anti-Semitism, and there wasn't a whole lot of media hoopla around it because they didn't care, because Rachel Zegler's story got more clicks, was far more interesting, and formed a narrative that was much, much simpler for people to follow. And for the lack of better words, it was a sexier narrative than the Israel-Palestine conflict. It was like, look at this woman. They can still include it in the Rachel Zegler part because she did have her own political comments, and they did try to frame her statements on Palestine as the reason people were upset, even though we understand that it went all the way back to 2022 and D23 and the comments that she made about the original Snow White movie.
Right. It was very deceptive the way that it was covered up into the release. Gal Gadot's take is a Delulu one, that's for sure.
I don't even think it's Delulu. I think she's just, you're colored by your own experience and you don't think much about the world outside of what's happening to you.
Gal Gadot is living in an echo chamber, and Rachel Zegler is also living in her own echo chamber.
If only we could have put them together,
and the journalists,
and they could have bounced off each other.
The journalists covering Snow White as well are also in their own echo chamber, and the way that they were deceptively framing the release for Snow White was, people are boycotting it because Rachel Zegler is talking about Palestine, when that had nothing to do with it. And
I mean, it didn't help, but it wasn't the driving force of why she was already extremely unlikable.
It was the things that she was saying about the original Snow White. It was her feminist statements, and it was her statements about Trump supporters never knowing peace. Honestly, none of it had to do with her pro-Palestine takes. Nobody cared. It got barely any attention other than from journalists. And Gal Gadot probably was personally offended that Rachel Zegler said those things because she's passionately pro-Israel.
In the chat, Easy says it's Gadot, Mary, not Gadot. No, it's not. Go back and listen to any clip of her saying her own name. She pronounces the T. It's Gadot.
Right. I don't know why this is so controversial.
It's every single time.
It's Gadot.
There was a time when I put together a supercut of all the times she said her own name, and nobody listens.
And even the part of the media that's more sympathetic to Rachel Zegler is blaming the Snow White failure on Gal Gadot's acting.
Yeah,
which is also not true. This post from Discussing Film says Gal Gadot claims that Snow White flopped because of the pressure on celebrities to bring up things against Israel rather than her terrible acting. Her terrible acting. I mean, she was a terrible actress in the movie.
But everybody knows that that's cope.
But that's
Gal Gadot
not.
is coping. So is that's what I said on X. I said, yes, Gal Gadot is absolutely coping. Discussing Film is also coping. It's one big cope fest.
I mean, Gal Gadot's acting.
They should move to Copenhagen.
Was awful, and like she's notoriously not a good actress. And she gets clowned on all the time for it, but her acting would be immaterial to the performance of the movie had Rachel Zegler not made it crash and burn in the first place. There was also, even before the Palestine stuff, another fake controversy about Rachel Zegler being Hispanic, which again was never the main focus of the backlash, too. That was also a lie from the media. I did want to show these skits that were making fun of Gal Gadot's performance, though, because they were getting a lot of attention at the time.
Why don't you take a bite, Snow White? I have immortal longings in me. Go on.
I like the clip that always gets reposted from Justice League where she's like, halal, no.
Speak up! Pies are luxuries. They don't need luxuries. It confuses them. I don't remember you being this opinionated.
I mean, there was two versions of that. They actually like remixed that clip and used a different take for one of the trailers where they did the slightly less awful version of opinionated.
All is fair when you're the fairest of them all. Snow White, get out of my way. Remove his coat and bind his gates to the breeze. Remove his coat and bind his boots to the freezing gates. Remove his coat and boots and bind him to the gates to freeze. In fact, I find it quite amusing telling me to play nice. In fact, I find it quite amusing for them to telling me to play nice.
They should have dubbed her with an actual singer. She's not good at singing either. And there was also this other skit from the same person about just like her acting in general.
She kind of looks like her in a.
I see a resemblance.
Yeah,
definitely.
She's got some
same
similar
voice
facial features. I mean, I'm assuming she's putting the voice on.
But the tone of voice too, not just the accent.
Lord.
We find out later she's her stand-in, like for setting.
She was the one that
she hated her all the time.
She was the one that like recorded the opinionated for the movie.
She's like, why did they dunk on me for that? That was great.
You're putting yourself and everyone in grave danger. I need you to give me the stone and enough champagne to fill the Nile. Mirror, mirror, magic mirror, who is the fairest of them all?
She looks just like her there.
The way that she's mugging at the camera.
She's got the same mouth as Gal Gadot.
It is our sacred duty, and I'm going to help them. Hell no!
Kal-El, no!
No!
Look, Gal Gadot is she's perfectly fine for Fast and the Furious movies. As such, she was in some of the earlier films. She's fine in movies like Red Notice, which is still what I realized yesterday. It's still the most watched movie ever on Netflix.
Oh wow!
When the script doesn't demand much of her, I think she's perfectly fine. But when she gets the leading role, she was in that movie Heart of Stone, which I made it through about 20 minutes of, and then I'm like, I tapped out. I was like, I gotta go. Even me, the lover of all Hollywood garbage, couldn't sit through Heart of Stone. You know?
Look, it's just...
And the movie was going to flop anyways.
Right. It's annoying that the media still, this far out from Snow White, still can't acknowledge what really happened.
They cannot.
They just can't actually report on anything. Not a surprise, actually, from journalists, but you're going to blame it on the race swap. On Rachel Zegler being Colombian. You're going to blame it on her comments about Palestine. You're going to blame it on misogyny.
Yep.
Instead of just reporting what actually happened. It never had a single thing to do with anyone's stance on Israel.
Nope.
That was so ridiculous. And there was one particular journalist at Variety named Tatiana Siegel.
I remember she's pretty
took
prolific
aim at
over
Rachel
there, yeah.
Zegler for her comments about Palestine and really wanted to sell the narrative that people were boycotting Snow White over it. That's not true.
All right, let's go to Super Chats. Actually, before we do that, let's
A lot of the people call me gal, gal, like different variations, but I totally get it because it's hard to pronounce. But yeah, my name is Gal Gadot.
Gadot.
You heard the T.
The T. Gadot.
Yes.
Thank you.
Greg Duvier said, finally Mary has come back to Pop Culture Crisis after burning the Gongo to ashes because she's done talking about them. I would never do something like that to the Gongo. They have enough problems as it is. Tate followed a snake earlier? What does that mean?
What? Oh, there was a snake.
Followed a snake?
I think somebody said that there was a snake over in the warehouse earlier.
What is going on today? We've got like bats and snakes. It's like some kind of medieval dungeon over here. Brian Bledsoe said, welcome back from the Gongo and happy birthday, Mary. Thought Cher was the unexpected guest. Chaircast for one of these weekends. Yeah, we'll just leave the live stream running all weekend with Cher hosting.
That would be great.
I bet it would make more money than we've ever made.
Probably.
No Control said, don't go grabbing raccoons, stick to the beavers in the lakes that you're used to.
Wow. It's like a play on Waterfalls from TLC. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Oh, I didn't
That was
get the
clever.
reference. Corey Anderson said, whenever Mary is gone, I assume she is getting married. I don't know if I would tell. That's not a bad guess, because if I were like going out of town to get married, I might not even say that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the type of person I am.
It's also, it says a lot, I guess it says a lot about your character that they think you're off doing something wholesome.
I don't think that like getting married is inherently wholesome.
It's not?
No.
No?
Because most people marry the wrong person.
I mean, if you're a good person and you're getting married, it's wholesome.
Sure.
There you go.
I don't think of myself as a good person, actually.
Let's hold off on the rest and we'll come back after the fact. Let's
Okay.
move on.
I have beef with one particular beefcake named Travis Kelce, who just graced the cover of GQ magazine with this absolutely insane photo shoot. He is doing some crossover between Duck Dynasty, Jeremy Dufresne's alligator boat tours, and Brokeback Mountain all at once. I want to just go through some of these photos. People are like, oh my gosh, the rent was due. He ate that. Like, he left no crumbs.
Is there a guy version of mothering?
Yeah.
Or is
like,
he mothering too?
Travis is Travising in this photo shoot, but
Are we starting with
it
this
was
one?
just insane. This is one of the reels that GQ shared
Here, let's play
from the
the film
photo
music off.
shoot.
Hold on.
He's like holding an actual alligator in this. So they were clearly going for like the outdoorsman aesthetic. He's on an airboat here. He's got his chest hair waving in the wind. He's on the jet ski.
He's very like late
pushing
90s.
his hair back.
He's very late 90s, like second on the call sheet in a movie with
The
that hair.
python is around his shoulders in that one. I also want to show some of the photos that are just like even more ridiculous. This slideshow here with the cowboy hat. He's like on a tailgate or something.
He's LARPing.
He's got like the fur. There he is with a looks like a walking stick, but he's on a boat. He's wearing this like long fur trench coat.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there he is, like, imitating one of the alligators in the water. And in that second photo, you might
That could actually be Lana's husband right there.
that previous photo in the swamp. He's wearing this fur hat, and he's holding a gigantic Birkin that probably costs a few $1 million for the photo shoot. So yeah, he's a swamp guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just super macho, standing in the woods.
Whoa!
There he is, soy facing. He's wearing fur pants in this one. Couldn't be that comfortable in Florida to be wearing fur pants. Yeah, and then there he's standing on a shipping container. That's kind of weird.
Why?
I don't know what kind of aesthetic they were going for here.
There's the photo of
with the alligator. Yeah, he's like playing it like
there's
a guitar.
his that is him imitating Razor Ramon from the WWF days.
The high vis vest, the jet ski photo. It's on an ATV.
He doesn't look like he enjoys any of these activities.
This is all just set up for him beforehand.
Yes.
He was on set for a total of 15 minutes. Yeah. And then this cover photo really takes the cake. He's like standing so close to the camera that it looks like he actually is like rocking the MySpace hair.
Yeah.
With the fur hat.
The night that he will die for Taylor, I guess.
And they call him America's sweetheart.
Is that what he is?
Now, I didn't read the whole interview because most of it was just fluff, but this part did stand out to me. He's being very open and vulnerable with his emotions, and he's honest that a lot of the backlash that he receives gets to him at the end of the day. It really hurts his feelings, and he's had to respond in kind by being strategic about the way that he presents himself in media. He said, "When you see me hanging out at the US Open with Taylor, it may look like the two of us are just partying, but I'm enjoying the fun of being at this really cool event that I always wanted to go to with the person I love. Put another way," he says, "I've become way more strategic in understanding what I portray to people. I have a good understanding of how I want to be portrayed." And he talks about going to therapy and talking about all of his life experiences that either helped him or hurt him, and how he reacts to things, and how he learned to process his emotions in a totally new way. And they ask how the media scrutiny increased exponentially since he started dating Taylor Swift affects him. Does he pay any attention to it? He says, "You can't block it out. If someone says something they don't like about you, you have to be able to understand how you are portraying yourself for them to say that. I'm a guy that doesn't want anyone to say anything negative about me. Some people don't give an F. I'm someone who does care." They praise him. "It requires a certain amount of vulnerability and bravery for someone of Kelce's renown to admit what he is admitting here."
That's not true.
Because he's a softie. He's just a sweet little small bean at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, he like poses for GQ like this.
I guess is the idea
Just a
supposed
little
to be
baby.
that he would lie and be like, yeah, none of that stuff gets to me. Doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. But what I'm interested in after reading that comment about how strategic he is with the way that he portrays himself to the public is why then do you purposefully portray yourself as a total idiot? Why do you want people to think that you are stupid? Because that is repeatedly what he portrays to the public, especially in this interview that he did with Taylor Swift on New Heights, where she announced her new album, The Life of a Showgirl. This clip says everything you need to know.
Making albums that were a little bit more esoteric, like folklore.
She's so hot when she says these big words.
You know what esoteric means.
I know, it's for specific following.
Exactly.
Wait, what?
So, he knows what that means. He
What does
pretends he doesn't know
esoteric
what
mean?
these words mean, but he knows what they
Esoteric
mean.
means for a specific following, like a specific genre of people.
He knows what it means.
Okay.
He does like a pretty I don't know what it means thing, but he knows all the words and he knows what they mean.
I don't know
And he may
anything.
not have read Hamlet, but I explained it to him. So he
Okay,
knows what
there we
happened.
go.
Don't tell my middle school English teacher I didn't read Hamlet.
Me oaf.
I'm
dumb
I'm
jock.
big dumb jock idiot.
Okay.
Me dumb. Me caveman. Me like Taylor Swift. Okay, and she basically calls him out for cosplaying as the dumb jock. She calls him out for playing dumb, for pretending to be a himbo, when in reality he's not.
Oddly enough, it made her seem all the more authentic because she's like, why are you doing that?
She's like, why are you acting like this? She genuinely, and I didn't get through more than half of that podcast episode before tapping out. She seemed visibly annoyed by him almost the entire time because he's playing up this fake persona. Or at least I hope that he's just pretending to be stupid, because if he actually is as dumb as he wants people to think he's not. That is scary. Like, I don't think any woman wants to date someone who is like that. Like, he's pretending to be multiple standard deviations of IQ below her.
He's not.
Almost because he thinks that it flatters her.
Yes.
But
and
she
part
doesn't
of this
find
is
it
because,
flattering at all.
It goes back to when he was like, he went to the Saturday Night Live reading and he's like, I have dyslexia.
Yes.
Look, I get it. I suck at reading out loud. 110%. I get it. But I don't feel that you reach this level of success outside of just football, meaning that, you've hired a very good agent. You've marketed your brand properly. You've put your foot down where you needed to. You didn't only take the things that your manager and your agent told you to do. You found a way to market yourself in a very specific way. Takes a certain level of, at the very least, understanding of the market around celebrity to be that way. And when I see stuff like that in those clips, I'm just like, it feels like a persona. She came off as far more authentic to me. And she said in that interview, if I remember correctly, because Olivia was telling me about it, that Taylor's like, I've been famous for 20 years. Like, there's nothing you can say to me that's really going to bother me. And I believe that, you know, she's reached that level of success and has done it for so long that it's an afterthought to her. But it's like he's playing a character. And it feels that way. Maybe it's because I see like the Travis Kelce candles next to the Taylor Swift candles at the stores in downtown Frederick, and I just roll my eyes a little bit. But, you know, if they're happy, if he actually makes her happy, good for them, I guess.
Well, you're right that he's clearly gearing up for when he eventually retires from the NFL.
That level of foresight, at the very least, forces him to have taken advice from agents and managers who said, look, you're not going to be playing forever. You have to think about a career after the NFL. And plenty of athletes who are actually stupid don't pay that much mind, go on about their day and continue on. He was on a dating reality show, like, years before he met Taylor Swift.
Right.
He clearly had aspirations towards fame outside of football long before he met her.
Right. Everything he's doing is very premeditated. At this point, he's 35 years old. He doesn't have a lot more time left as a professional athlete. He even admitted earlier in the GQ interview that he believes one of the reasons why the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl last year was because his attention is divided and he's paying a lot of attention to his opportunities in acting.
So this was something that I pitched, it must have been on Friday, where I said, look, this was a movie. If this was a movie about Travis Kelce, it's about the guy who's a standout athlete and he starts getting all these other opportunities,
right,
and it distracts him from his job, okay? Did you ever see Major League 2? Willie Mays Hayes gets the big time, and then in movie 2, he shows up in a limo with like 37 people, and he keeps trying to hit home runs when his job is to just get on first base, because he was in that movie with Jesse Ventura in the movie, a movie inside the movie. Right. This is classic, okay?
Yeah.
I don't even believe him when he says it here.
Well, he basically admitted as much.
I don't think, I would almost believe, maybe I'm too conspiratorial. I think he says that because it's an easily digestible thing to make him relatable to people.
And by the way, he hasn't even publicly said that he has dyslexia. He's literally just pretending to be stupid. He said that the hardest part of hosting SNL was the pre-show table read because he can't really read that well.
I mean, honestly, if I could pay somebody, like Mary reads in this show because I hate reading out loud. So I get it.
I'm just saying he's clearly going for this jock, idiot, himbo persona. He's the hot dumb one, and Taylor Swift is the, you know, kind of, sort of equally hot, smart one. And he just is obsessed with her and everything she does. And she is teaching him all of these new vocabulary words because she's so wordy and intelligent. And yeah, I think it's a facade. And I don't like that this is being framed as aspirational. I've noticed that even a lot of conservative talking heads are falling for it. They're believing that Travis Kelce is somehow an avatar of like the traditional masculinity that Taylor Swift has been, you know, rejecting for so many years. And finally, she's in a relationship with a hot, macho, masculine guy. And now it's totally different. And she's settling into her whole trad wife era because of Travis. He's so high testosterone and masculine. And he's nothing of the sort. He just has muscles and pretends to be an idiot all the time. He's not an idiot. I mean, that's not masculine. Being dumb is not masculine. And I have clocked this in the past, that there is a new and more clever facade for the feminist man today than we used to have. It used to be the stereotypical, you know, latte drinking, metrosexual, scarf wearing male feminist who is like reading Sylvia Plath performatively in the coffee shop, right? Now it's Travis Kelce. Get used to that reality. Like, he is the new mascot for the non-threatening version of masculinity that is deemed acceptable today, because he pretends to be an idiot and ineffectual and having a lack of agency. That's what makes him a non-threatening man. And that is anything but masculine. And being muscly doesn't do anything to counteract it. He has the costume of masculinity, not the reality of it. And I think it's a total psyop that they're pushing on us. I don't believe it for a second. He is a male feminist in disguise, and it's not even a very good disguise. I see through it right away.
She comes off looking better than he does.
And his brother is even worse.
I know you hate Jason Kelce.
Jason Kelce pisses me off even more than Travis Kelce because he leans even more into the whole, like, I'm a big dumb idiot thing. Like, I just like beer and pizza and yelling and getting drunk and like, blah. Like, I'm just a big dumb nincompoop with a huge beer belly. That's also not masculine. That's just embarrassing. Okay? Like, why is it deemed masculine all of a sudden to just be a knuckle-dragging nincompoop? It's more masculine to be high agency, to be incredibly success-driven, to be assertive and intelligent and cultured. That is very masculine.
Okay, you're speaking a bit apples to oranges here because they are from the realm of sports, which asks a different persona of people. Okay, so yes, Jason Kelce could have retired from professional football and gone and gotten, I don't know, a high frequency trading license and gone and done banking or something, but he has an image. That image is marketable and can make him a lot of money beyond just what he made while he's in the NFL. He's also portrayed as a family man because he's got he loves his wife and his kids. So there's layers to something like that. But I was just watching this video earlier about the $40 billion market that is Little League Baseball now. We're in the NFL here, which means that you're expected to have a certain image that is formed around the type of person you are. And when you look at the guy, you're not going to, like, no agent's going to look at him and say, you know what I see? Erudite. You know what I see?
I'm not saying
that he's found something that works, a niche that works for him. So there is a level of intelligence in the marketing behind these people that is actually quite impressive. It's just that depending on your worldview, that may be seen as destructive to the culture. I don't know if it's that serious because, again, this is within the realm of sports. It's different.
But Travis Kelce is also in the realm of culture because his relationship with Taylor Swift is getting dissected to no end. And a lot of conservatives are looking at this podcast that they just did together, and they're saying, like, look at how feminine and soft Taylor is now that she can just wither into the arms of this strong, masculine man, Travis Kelce. And it's like, he's not masculine. He's not.
You and me both know that conservatives will fight for any sign they can. They can be
They're
like,
desperate.
I wouldn't be surprised if right underneath it said, Sydney Sweeney has started a cultural movement. Okay, they're just latching on to whatever is culturally relevant at the time to further their channel and get all the clicks that they want.
I'm just encouraging all of you to see through the veneer that Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce have put on themselves, because regardless, it is a facade what they're doing.
But the thing is, he could have rebranded as, you know, elite athlete, but that doesn't sell once the career is over, so he's pivoting. Right? Like, whether people like it or not, these big dumb oafs, as he seems to be wanting to be portrayed, are elite athletes who have to stay in incredible shape, do hours of research, game tape, study the people. Like, they're not idiots, and these sports make billions of dollars a year for a reason. It's just that is hard to sell to women who want to buy Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce matching candles.
Right. Well,
know your market, which they do.
Yes. I'm just pointing to a larger problem that I've noticed, which is that masculinity is still very much villainized in society today. And just the same way that wokeness has taken a back seat, so has that male feminist archetype that we're all familiar with. It just came up with a new, more deceptive, harder to clock costume.
Yep.
And you should be vigilant of that.
All right, let's do some super chats.
Pop Culture Junkie said the agreement between Sony and Marvel over the Spider-Man IP is so thick that dropping it on your foot would cause serious injury. Yeah, I don't know all the ins and outs of it.
What was it again? I'm sorry.
I was asking earlier if Marvel Studios has any control over the way that Brand New Day is marketed.
Oh, yeah.
Or if that's just under Sony's domain. But
I don't know.
That would take like hours of study.
It was I mean, there's like all sorts of information about it. And they have reworked that contract, I think, at least twice since Marvel originally got the rights to use him in the MCU in Civil War. That was almost a decade ago now. It was in 2016.
We have another 20 from Weary Traveler. The Kelce brothers are what Reddit thinks masculinity is. Exactly. You're right on point with that.
Let's do one more.
Trevor Hare said, oh, are these just like emojis? I can't see them.
I can't see.
Thank you.
Do one more.
Shane H. Wilder said, I memed Mary making fun of Einkaufswagen parking and had some people question Mary for not putting her cart up. I'm like, it's just a running bit. Well,
Mary
that's the thing. It's
debunked it ages ago.
It's gone so far beyond my control at this point. Like, people are just going to believe that I never return my cart. And, you know, they're allowed to believe that.
See, if we were smart, we would go out and like record a video of you just like purposely not putting a cart back in and put it up on the PCC Instagram for no reason, with like no context whatsoever.
I'm going to do like the opposite of cart narcs, where I take people's carts out of the corral.
Okay.
I'm going to shame people for putting their cart in the corral.
How dare you? Okay.
Why did you do that?
All right. Let's move on. We've got more.
Yes. The first part of Wednesday Season 2 has now released on Netflix. 3 years in between seasons of 8 to 10 episodes is crazy work, by the way, but that's just the landscape we're in now. So they're waiting until the second part comes out, and fans are very unhappy that they didn't get their precious ship made into a reality. The showrunners have had to answer for this. Why isn't Wednesday in a romantic relationship with her female roommate, Enid? And they've come up with a ship name for it and everything. It's called Wenclair because it's Wednesday Addams and Enid Sinclair, and they just really wanted these two to kiss, which I think is really strange because we're talking about two, you know, people playing children on a TV show. Like, just kind of creepy that you're like obsessed with that in the first place, but also they're obsessed with the idea of queer representation. The Gay Times covered the controversy, saying the co-showrunners of Wednesday have shared their thoughts on the possibility of a Wen-Claire romance, and they basically said there is no possibility of it. This is from Alfred Goh and Miles Miller. It's a show about female friendship, and people can read into it whatever they want, which is great. That's the beauty of television, is people can take ownership, but they're very much friends. It's really a show exploring that female friendship, which isn't allowed anymore. Same-sex friendships are just not allowed to exist on any show, regardless of whether it's two women or two men.
Yeah,
it's going to be taken and hijacked by people online and made into gross, like, deviant art fan ships. And there's nothing you can do to prevent that. And they're letting them have their fun, but they're like, we don't have to change our show to appease you. And now this hashtag is trending, hashtag when Claire stays, and they're accusing the showrunners of queer baiting the audience, which never happened. The queer baiting is so bad, even the big accounts are calling it out now. And then another person said, it's not queer baiting, you guys just ignored canon and deluded yourselves into thinking Tim Burton, of all people, was going to make a lesbian show. You know, they kind of admitted what's really going on here. They said the quiet part out loud at the end of that tweet. They just think that any show with a same-sex relationship in it is therefore a lesbian show or a gay show. And that's why those shows consistently get canceled.
Yeah, because it creates such a small market for it that, like, there used to be a time where gay characters would end up in regular shows and it was just considered part of an ensemble cast. Whereas then now you kind of box it into this very, very small niche audience. And obviously that wasn't even true for this show.
No.
But they're like trying to will it into existence.
Yeah, for context, in the first season in 2022, Wednesday gets paired with this annoying roommate who she hates at first, and they're totally aesthetic opposites. Her roommate Enid is like obsessed with everything pink and everything rainbow and sparkles and glitter, and she's super upbeat and bubbly, whereas Wednesday obviously is the more acerbic. She wears black all the time, and she really finds Enid annoying at first, but then over time her acerbic exterior gets softened toward her roommate and they become good friends by the end of the season. And they're still friends in the second season, but people are not willing to accept that because they wanted it to end in a lesbian romance, again, between child characters, schoolgirls. It's just super creepy no matter how you put it. And I wasn't aware of any accusations of homophobia against Tim Burton. People have criticized Tim Burton for supposedly not representing racial diversity in his films or TV shows. He uses predominantly white casts, and his general filmography. Critics have taken issue with his explanation that things either call for things or they don't when asked about diversity, interpreting it as a dismissive attitude toward the intentional inclusion of POCs and marginalized groups.
That is the real answer. For like anybody in that position, that is actually the right answer. It's like watching a movie and you see a bunch of Delta Force operators. If there's a woman in there, you're like, this never called for that. Mm-hmm. She doesn't need to be there. It doesn't benefit the story in any way.
Right.
But some things call for it and some things don't.
I honestly didn't even care for the heterosexual love interests that they gave Wednesday in the first season.
He's gone though now, right? Like that.
There were two. So one of them was Percy Hines White, who got canceled in the meantime between season 1 and 2, so he's no longer involved in the show. Although I do think he's on friendly terms with Jenna Ortega because she doesn't really care. And the allegations against him were never verified or resulted in any legal action.
She's got blonde eyebrows. She doesn't give a crap about anything.
Yeah. But he's not on the show anymore. It's just the love interests that they gave Wednesday in the first season were way too YA coded, if you know what I mean. Like, it didn't fall in line with who people know Wednesday Addams to be, that she's seemingly way more boy crazy than you would think Wednesday should be. Like, she pretends not to be at first, but then she's like she's like crushing so hard on these guys, and it's like it's a love triangle that they imposed on the first season.
Let's talk about the real problem in all of this. 3 years between seasons 1 and 2.
And releasing the second season, which consists of, I forget if it was 8 or 10 episodes. 8?
I think it's 8.
Releasing the second season in 2 installations just to milk it for all it's worth.
Just
get to work. Like, it's, I mean, obviously the days of 22 episode seasons are
but the thing is, they're not long gone. Network television can do it.
Right, but like for anything that has cultural cachet on the level of Wednesday, it's just you can't get the same output anymore.
The Taylor Sheridan shows do better output than this.
What is their
they're at least they're not waiting 4 years between seasons of all. They're doing Landman season 2. They're already on it right now.
But the seasons are short.
I mean, these are short. Yeah, they're not 22 episodes, right? Like, you didn't know how good you had it. And we don't even have to go back to like network TV, which is the blueprint for that, you know, with your 22 episodes over 9 months, and then they get their 3-month break off. You could go look at basic cable during the golden age of TV, whether we're talking about Breaking Bad, any of these shows that were really big at that time on FX or on AMC or any of these stations. They weren't doing 22 episodes a year, but they were doing 16.
Right.
Right? People don't know how good they had it back then.
Which
they
is
really
still,
did.
Like, double what we get now. We're basically at the point where they're like, we'll give you like 6 episodes within the next 5 to 7 years.
And maybe we'll give you a second season, otherwise F off.
And it also just is insane because 2022 feels like another lifetime.
2 lifetimes ago.
Like, crazy.
I mean, we had a vibe shift. We had an election. Like, so much stuff happened between then.
Yeah. And in the meantime, Jenna Ortega's career also took off in a huge way, which is probably the main reason why they couldn't schedule filming for Wednesday. But she is the executive producer role as well. So it should have been prioritized.
They'll just, and the thing is companies like networks are always going to, companies like Netflix will always be able to put stuff out because they offer so much money to these actors to do it. Like I was on with Valiant Renegade last night. We were talking about Netflix possibly one day maybe moving over to the theatrical release market on a more permanent basis because they had they put in a bid for Weapons that they ended up losing out on, and Weapons just made a ton of money at the box office. And part of it was like they offered the director way more money, and he didn't do it because he wanted it to go to theaters. But that's how they get you. Like
they bribe them.
They did the same thing with Anyone But You. They got offered way more money to do it on streaming. But
it wouldn't have been as culturally relevant.
Correct. But for the TV shows, they don't have that secondary option. So you can either be 80 years old watching CBS, 72 years old watching ABC, 70 years old watching NBC, and watch the network procedurals that, in my opinion, were the true victims of, the progressive movement of 2018 to 2022, and it never recovered. Otherwise, you're going to have to go to basic cable if you want to find anything that's even approaching regularly released. The rest of it is all every 6 years something comes out.
I'm scrolling through the hashtags when Claire stays and make when Claire canon right now, and these people are all so unemployed. It's crazy.
Oh, by the way,
open the tweet that I just sent you. This is such a waste of someone's graphic design skills. They made a flyer for it. Raise your voice until they can't ignore us.
I love it.
And what's with the anarchist symbol at the bottom of the flyer there? Thank you.
Thank you. It was like this thing. The original run of The X-Files took 8 years, 8 months, and 9 days to air 9 seasons, including 202 episodes and a theatrical film. Stranger Things will end this year after 9 years, 5 months, and 10 days with only 5 seasons and 52 episodes.
How far we've fallen.
It's so sad.
This is just, like, pathetic.
Yeah.
They're like acting like this is some kind of injustice that they weren't given some ship. You can just look at fan art online and it gives you the same dopamine hit.
Yeah. It's also funny too because this is like it's from the industry where they love to tell the audience that they don't know what they want until they get it from the artists. You know, they don't want to do what the audience says. They want to believe that they decide what is important and what is cool.
These people like need to get a life. I know that the showrunners can't do this because they can't alienate the audience. They can't actually like give these people the shaming that they deserve. But you know, they got close. They were like, look, you can just think of it whatever way you want, but it's our show. F off. I don't know. These people are crazy. Like I thought, you know, stay on Tumblr. Just stay.
I mean, that was the real thing. Tumblr banned.
Sectioned off.
Tumblr banned
from the
porn,
rest of
and the
us.
floodgates opened.
Well, then they unbanned it. So go back to Tumblr. Stop bothering people.
All right, let's go. Let's finish the super chats.
Greg Duvier said, "I just noticed the lisp. I think that is one of the reasons Riley didn't get picked. Did she have a lisp?
I didn't notice a lisp.
I don't know. I was making fun of her with a lisp,
Oh.
but I didn't know she actually had one. I don't know. Is that like a huge turnoff for men?
Oh,
like
I don't
women
know.
with lisps? You can probably fix that with a little speech therapy.
Guys, like I don't listen to her anyways, so.
Yeah, she it's the tone of voice, man.
Is that
Like
what you think it is?
I know it's like a super chauvinistic take, but like women really need to pipe down. Like I don't even think they need to talk less. Just when you do talk, stop yelling. Like women are straight up screaming at all times.
I will say,
like especially in groups, they start like feeding onto each other. They're like apes. They're like primates. They're like ooh 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 ah, ah, ah. You know? Sorry.
Ow.
You okay?
Yes, that was high pitched. It could have been the bat in there.
Well, you've noticed that, right?
Look,
like women in groups
they're
are
not
like
gonna
all
wanna
like
hear that-
feeding
they're
on
not-
each other, and they're
they're-
getting like way too excited.
It's like, remember when the men would go to the cigar lounge and the women would go for tea? We need to go back to that.
Like, have you seen those skits making fun of small talk that are like, "Hey, the weather, yeah, the dogs. Oh, hi."
I will say, as somebody, because I'm deaf in one ear, I have a hard time regulating like how loud I'm talking, especially when there's a lot of people there. Like if it's 2 people, it's a little bit easier, especially like here most of the time because of the sound on doesn't bounce off the walls. But if like sometimes you're in public and you get excited and you talk too loud and somebody goes like, it's the only time
Tone
I
it
get,
down.
If Olivia tells me I'm talking too loud, I get super
No,
petty.
I'm gonna tone it the F up.
She's like yeah, like I'll be like, oh, okay. Okay. I get really petty. So.
To make things equal, though, men also talk gay now, so they should stop doing that. Like
Here.
the average straight man in any metropolitan area,
How does he talk?
you just wouldn't be able to tell if he's gay.
Okay.
And your choices now, as a Zoomer male, you can either talk like a wigger and be assumed heterosexual, or you can have some level of diction and be assumed gay. There are two options.
You're pronouncing your words properly?
Zesty. Yeah, I don't like that.
That's zesty coded.
Red Snow said, "Appreciate y'all and praise be to Space King." Thank you.
And thank you.
Shane H. Wilder said, "The loud, high-pitched thing is real. I hear it at work. I'm literally in another room with noise-canceling earbuds and can hear them." That's
It
why that guy
punctures
makes
through his headphones.
That's why that guy on Instagram makes skits about like the women in the office doing the like itty bitty titty in a bob. itty bitty titty in a bob, and he's like just trying to do his spreadsheet.
I saw like an X post today. It says, "I love that these 3 women radicalized an
They're
entire
too damn loud. They need to pipe down." Hamey said, "Everyone likes Pizza Hut, but nobody likes Poopsa Hut."
I feel
so
like
true.
So true.
But actually, I don't like Pizza Hut.
Really?
No, it's not my preference.
Of all the chain pizzas, I'd say that's my favorite, unless I can find a Sbarro's somewhere.
Sbarro's is the best.
Sbarro's the best. Like, it's a reason to go to a mall.
Yeah, definitely. I miss their chocolate cake. They used to have a chocolate cake, and now they only have cheesecake.
I used to have an Arby's in my neighborhood that had a Sbarro attached to it.
That's
not in a
crazy.
mall.
Crazy combo.
Crazy combo. Like I was.
What is it about roast beef and pizza that just works?
Well, they were, you know, it was like one of the taco, and this was like not like I don't know how they are now, but like the Taco Bell, KFC around here, it's one counter.
Okay.
It's like one counter. The freaking Arby's Sbarro was like two. It was like one here and one here, separate counters.
They're in competition.
In one restaurant, yeah. I'm assuming owned by the same place.
Right. Ghost of Valhalla said, "From one ghost to another, happy birthday, Mary." Thank you. Pop Culture Junkie said, "Since you both have mentioned this a number of times in a number of contexts in the last year or so, I'm wondering if we have entered an era of various forms of humiliation rituals. Why is this?"
I mean, ritual implies that there's a dark, shadowy cabal that says you have to go and do that. I don't know if I buy into that. What was the thing last week? You were like dinosaurs, the moon landing.
It's a spectrum, you know?
Okay.
Before I answer that, we have a 20 from Sky Eye. Did you think I forgot? Happy birthday, Mary Morgan. Moon. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's a spectrum. You actually do have to humiliate yourself to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say anyone is behind the scenes, you know, puffing a
You have to be
cigar
okay
in
with-
a glass room, forcing you to do it.
Yeah.
But you do have to humiliate yourself to be famous. And you also have to come up with some weird, you know, persona to make it in the music industry, especially. Chappell Roan would have never become famous had she not started performing in drag.
Yep.
We were talking about that last week, I think, how, you know, mainstream pop artists used to just be normal looking people.
Yep.
And
They
now
used
you have to be
well,
weird.
Heightened normal. Like, you know.
Well,
the
they would
girl
be
next-
attractive,
Yeah.
but they didn't have to have like some weird costume or some weird stage name, you know? Like, people were talking about Vanessa Carlton, and then you got Billie Eilish, and she's like, "Ooh, I've got like spiders in my mouth." Like,
Chappell Roan was so normal looking.
that's Connor Franta right now. Like, Connor Franta and Troye Sivan are fighting over Chappell Roan's selfie right now.
Yep.
Weary Traveler said, "The people who hate America the most are the ones always using or stealing its aesthetic, i.e. Hassan Piker." Is Hassan Piker leaning into the Americana
Well, what
aesthetic?
do they say? Like he's like he's like a leftist with muscles, so that where he's MAGA coded, even though he hates America. I did see the pictures of him and Mamdani together hanging out.
Eating with their hands.
Made perfect sense to me. You know,
Just not being a fat schlub is
Right-wing
MAGA
coded.
coded now.
Yeah.
Weary Traveler said, "Happy birthday, Mary. I will listen to Stomp Clap and eat a $25 Thistle and Thorn ab burger for you."
Bro,
Thank you so
when
much.
we were coming back from Detroit, we made the mistake of eating at one of the restaurants inside a stop on the way, like the truck stops.
Yeah. They usually have Subway.
It had Burger King, which is already crazy priced at a regular Burger King, let alone on a highway rest stop area. It was $11 for a bacon cheeseburger.
That's a joke.
I wanted to.
Not worth it.
I
Taco
mean-
Bell is the only fast food restaurant that's worth it anymore. I stand by that. USA 9283 said, "I think Riley is just on the autism spectrum." Honestly, I don't. I don't think so.
I don't.
And if she is, it's almost imperceptible. She has other problems.
Like I actually take great issue with that, because if you can't be like mildly quirky without being some type of medical diagnosis, it's over for us. Like,
yeah, she's not.
I'm annoyed by us being like, I have a crazy hobby that people don't understand, therefore I'm autistic. No, just no. That's not the way things are.
Greg Duvier said, "This is why to believe all women." I don't know what that was referencing. Shane H. Wilder said, "Wait, Israel has a Tard Talk? Good for them." Yeah, that show premise is just so crazy.
It was, I mean, I'm guessing that it's supposed to be syrupy, emotional.
Well, it seems more like the hosts are autistic,
saccharine.
So that they can ask you crazy questions without getting any backlash.
They're being fed the questions in like an earpiece.
Because they don't, abide by the social rules. Red Snow said, "Move to Copenhagen is a legendary joke." I don't know.
I made that joke about Gal Gadot, and I said everybody's coping. They should move to Copenhagen.
Oh. Carnell said, "Poll in the chat. What got more backlash? Gal Gadot for the Imagine video or her acting in Snow White?"
I don't remember the Imagine video getting like insane levels of backlash, just normal levels of backlash.
It was clowned on, but I think she didn't really face the blame for starting it. It was just all of the celebrities were being made fun of.
Yeah.
No Control said, "Why is Travis Kelce doing a gay calendar?" Yeah, like that is on the fridge of gay men as we speak. Yeah. No, I don't, like, none of what I saw in that photo shoot is something that women are like super hot for. Like, that was not attractive. Omega Red Fan said, "Taylor dates Gator Boys." I guess that's just the new meta. She was just like copying Lana. Pop Culture Junkie said, "Happy birthday, Mary. Return with uneaten pretzels." No, no pretzels.
No pretzels on the
I
plane?
bought a lot of sweets before getting on the plane, though. So, mea culpa. I bought...
Did you wake up a little bit hungover from all the food?
This absolutely insane, like chocolate-covered pancake-flavored monstrosity. It was disgusting, and I ate all of it. And I got a slice of baklava, which is also really good. Don't regret that.
Did you feel guilty in the next morning after eating all of it? No.
I made my choices. USA 9283 said, "Dog encounter is similar to the Christian Cooper Park argument in 2020. CNN did a story on it because it had a black guy and a white lady." Oh, I vaguely remember that. Yeah, I don't remember who was really at fault.
Wait,
but
so
it was like,
were they saying she was racist because of the incident then?
the video was like deceptive because everyone took the side of the guy who was recording, I think, but then other people were saying, no, like, you didn't see the full context. Like, I don't remember what happened. Weary Traveler said the Swift-Kelce relationship is a CIA PSYOP.
I don't know if I believe that. I think that...
It's a bit of a reach. I don't know.
I guess. Like, what would be the purpose? They're like, the birth rates are plummeting. Get Taylor Swift some type of relationship and then tell them to have kids.
If anything, it's an NFL PSYOP or a Taylor Swift Incorporated PSYOP.
You know what he's got to do now?
They have no chemistry. I don't know if Olivia would disagree with me as a Swiftie, but like...
She would.
Watching that podcast episode, she looked like she was just so annoyed by him the entire time.
Olivia is happy for her and can't wait for Taylor's new album.
She looked like she just wanted to slap him the entire time. Like he kept interrupting her the entire time that she was trying to do the interview. Because Jason is the one who's asking the questions. And then Travis just keeps interjecting with random bullshit that has nothing to do with the question. And she's like, babe, shut up. And then she was like, I didn't even have time to like rant about this, but she's like going on and on about her like owning her masters again, and it was so emotional. She was like bawling her eyes out.
I did see
so annoying.
I tweeted about this on X the other day. I saw that somebody asked Piper Paraboo about a Coyote Ugly sequel. And then I had the idea. So in the Coyote Ugly sequel in my brain, Violet gets into a big rift with her record label that she writes songs for, and then she leaves and makes Jersey's version. And then after that, she can buy her masters back after selling millions of copies of her own songs that Leanne Rimes can sing, and then just interject a bunch of table dancing and wet t-shirt contests. Boom.
Did she say that she wanted to do a sequel?
I don't think she wants to.
Oh.
I think we're about 15 to
Okay.
20 years. I mean, the movie's like 20 years old now. We're well past the age in which that's gonna play well
But
for
the
literally
vibe
anyone.
shift, though.
Well, I mean, if they want to reboot it, you could try, but I don't think that's gonna work.
Shane H. Wilder said, male feminists' opinion of masculinity is a stereotype of the meathead. The true masculinity is a mixture of chivalry, courtesy, honorability, who can engage in philosophical, political discussions.
I mean, but like, to be fair to Hollywood, they play on tropes and they play on the most over-exaggerated version of something. And the over-exaggerated version of everything you just mentioned is hard to do.
I don't think that Travis Kelce needs to pretend to be some kind of intellectual. He just needs to stop pretending to be an idiot.
Yeah, like end
That's
up back
what
in the
annoys
middle.
me. Just be a person.
Oh, what does esoteric mean?
It's so hot when she uses big
I
words.
love it when she uses big words. Me turned on.
Me have CTE.
Ooga
Me no
booga.
understand. Not that Jon Stewart said shippers ruin everything.
Yep.
That they do.
That's true.
Adam said, did you guys like K-pop Demon Hunters?
No, but I mean, I didn't watch it, but I did see all of the hoopla around Sony being upset that they're not making any of the money on that. They sold it to Netflix, and now it's making like $1 gazillion.
Too bad.
Yeah. Yep.
It is a sensation.
Yep.
From
it's
what
a
I
huge,
heard.
Yep. It's, I saw somebody compare it to the likes of Frozen. Like that, it's that big of a deal right now.
Corey Anderson said, shippers make me anti-alphabet people.
I mean, shippers should just be anti-shipper in general because
They
they
usually
ruin
overlap,
everything.
though.
Yes.
Weary Traveler said, would Travis Kelce know what acerbic means? If Taylor Swift used the word acerbic in that interview, he would have been like, that was so hot when you said, what was that word? Aerobics?
And he's like writing it down so he can look it up later. He's got like a dictionary in the background.
Greg
Do
Duvier
it. Yep. Go on.
said, Batman Returns had a black Harvey Dent, so racist.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, I mean, yes, they did, because was that Billy D. Williams? Who was it that played him in Batman Returns? What's the what was this in reference to? My like saying that Bella Ramsey should play Miles Morales, because that'd still be great.
Shane H. Wilder said, either release everything at once or release it week to week. All Netflix wants is the cash grab of people subscribing for 2 months to see the season.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm against. So the weekly release is good here if you want to review stuff, but in general, I don't want any of that shit. I want it to all come out at once so that I can waste 8 hours in a row rather than spacing it out.
I would prefer spaced out, personally.
That's for the well-adjusted people.
The real cash grab is the people who forgot that they subscribed for that
Yep.
show. That's
So
what they want.
That's why we're sponsored by Rocket Money.
Real. Pop Culture Junkie said, producers also realize that versus direct to streaming, theatrical releases give you trailer exposure that and a media campaign that can increase the lifetime value of a movie once it hits streaming.
Yeah, I mean, if a movie starts off as streaming fodder, it will always be seen as streaming fodder.
200 Watt Studio said, I'm gonna need Mary's monkey noises as my ringtone. You're welcome. 200 Watt Studio said, roast beef and pizza is a perfect date night. Yikes. Red Snow said, so being articulate is gay? I mean, if you ask the Zoomers, yeah. Because the ones who want to be perceived as, like, heterosexual refuse to use proper English. Kyle Dixon said, happy birthday, Mary. Thank you. And Pop Culture Junkie said, Mary, 2 of my closest friends are Greek. Agree with you on baklava. Not low-cal, though. Yeah, but it was my cheat day.
There you go. Okay. All right, guys. Before we go, would you hit the like button on this video, please? And subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. please and thank you. You should go ahead and do that. Mary, where can they find you?
You can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived. And help me get TikTok famous. That is also Mary Archived.
All right. I only mildly heard the
Yeah, no
bird.
one in the chat was mentioning that they heard the bird, bat, whatever it is. So
Yep.
I think we're in the clear.
All right. With that being said, if you guys want to follow me, I am on Instagram and on X at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. This show is here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, of course, noon Pacific. We are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than just watch this show, you can rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, which always helps us out. And if you want to follow us on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook at popculturecrisis, Instagram at popculturecrisisPod. I do want to remind you guys, tomorrow is episode 900. We will be live at 2 p.m., not 3 p.m. Don't say we did not warn you. I will hopefully we'll see if we can put out a post on the community tab, letting people know that we will be live at 2 p.m. Eastern, not 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be doing a 3-hour show in celebration of episode 900. I have a surprise for everyone, which I'm very excited about. So we got a couple more there.
One from Shane H. Wilder. Can't wait for episode 900. The episode 900 celebratory video is scheduled for the morning with the Pop Culture Crisis Museum of Fine Art.
Sounds like a place I'd like to visit.
Greg Duvier said, yes, Billy D. Williams, directed by Tim Burton.
There you go. All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, come back tomorrow for episode 900, 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.